Thought for the day. Words create realities. Use yours to create a version of yourself that you love.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we talk about eliminating thinking errors by talking back to our inner critic. Have a listen.
We all have times when we lack confidence and we do not feel good about ourselves. But when low self-esteem becomes a long-term problem, it can have a harmful effect on our mental health and our day-to-day lives. When our self-esteem is low, we tend to see ourselves and our life in a more negative and critical light. You may feel defeated, defective, deserted and deprived. Having a low self-image or self-worth can actually transform something seemingly trivial into something overwhelming. And sadly, you may be so relentless and persuasive in your belief that you are defective that you may even start to convince your friends and family that this is actually true. Low self-esteem often begins in childhood. Our parents, siblings, friends, and social media send us positive and negative messages about ourselves. Negative emotions can often seem to stick more than the positive ones, and you may begin to find it difficult living up to the expectations that you perceive others have of you. The fundamental belief of cognitive behavioral therapy is that your thoughts determine your actions. Because of this, it is important that you align your values and beliefs that will best serve you in life. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. Mahatma Gandhi. There are 3 main steps to the triple column method. Step 1. Train yourself to recognize and write down the self-critical thoughts as they go through your mind. Step 2. Learning why these thoughts are distorted. And step 3 is to practice talking back to them so you can develop a more resilient self-image. To create the table for the triple column technique, you simply draw 2 lines down the center of a piece of paper and divide it into thirds. You label the left-hand column automatic thoughts or self-criticism. You label the middle column cognitive distortion. And then you label the right-hand column rational response or self-defense. In the left-hand column or the automatic thoughts column, you write down all the hurtful self-criticisms you make when you are feeling worthless and down on yourself. In the middle column, you try to identify and write down the cognitive distortions of your self-criticisms. Cognitive distortions are simple ways that our mind tries to convince us that something that isn't really true is. These are inaccurate thoughts and are usually used to reinforce negative thinking or emotions. Say you're late for something important. You feel your heart beating faster and you start to panic. Ask yourself, what thoughts are going through your mind right now? What are you saying to yourself? Why is this upsetting you? Write these down in the left-hand column. Using the list of cognitive distortions that I outline, try to identify what the negative thought pattern is. So, I'm always late is overgeneralization, for example. Then in the final column, you might respond with something rational like, I'm not always late, I'm mostly on time. If I'd like to be late less often, I'll work on developing methods to be more punctual. Maybe I'll leave a bit earlier. If you feel you can't think of a rational response, that's fine. Just forget about it for a while, and when you come back to it, you'll be able to think more rationally. An important thing here though is not just to put in words that describe your mood or emotional reaction. Only put in the thoughts that created that emotional reaction in the automatic thoughts column. For example, if we take the running late example again, don't just write, I feel like crap, because that's essentially true, you do feel like crap. This is what we're trying to solve. Instead, write down the thought that led to you feeling like crap. Let's say it was, I will look foolish when I arrive. Write that down. Identify the cognitive distortion, which is labeling or fortune telling, then respond with the rational thought. It may be something like, yeah, it would have been better to leave earlier, but I'm not stupid. Life is unpredictable and things happen. I'm not a fool for being late. Everyone is late sometimes. Burns suggests that working through this simple triple column technique every day for 15 minutes each day, that it will become easier and easier to do, and that this self-defensive rational thought will become more and more intuitive for you. It's okay if you're having trouble at first thinking of a rational response. You can always step back from it or even ask someone else what their answer would be to this particular negative thought.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.